What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got some more NBA news to, of course, be talking about with you guys. This time I wanted to talk about the recent news that do suggest that the New York Knicks really want Jalen Brunson. According to this report, the Knicks want Jalen Brunson, quote, bad. They want him bad. Like, they seem to really want this guy. And they have contacted the Mavericks about his availability, and this is all being reported by Mark Berman, and I think every other New York reporter and their dad, because let's be honest here, Jalen Brunson would be, I think, one of the most perfect fits for this New York Knicks team. I absolutely love what the Knicks are actually trying to build right now, and for those of you who are like, well, what are they trying to build? I think the New York Knicks are actually really trying to build this young, upcoming team that can be like one of the best teams in a few years. I definitely know we've heard reports saying that the New York Knicks aren't completely sold on Julius Randle. In fact, they'd actually be open to potentially trading him in the offseason. I think a lot of Knicks fans are torn on that. Half of the Knicks fans are saying, well, yeah, we should do it because we kind of like what we're building here with this really young team, and Randle might not fit that kind of time slot. And then other Knicks fans are saying, well, no, he really took us out of the mud in the last season and brought us to our first playoffs in a while. But I think how I see it is it's a really hard one, because before I get into the whole Jalen Brunson thing and talking about what I think the Knicks are building, when we talk about Julius Randle, because this is also being reported that he is up for trade, I think it's a super hard one, because I actually think it would make sense to potentially trade him, because obviously you look at all these young guys they've got in now. Randle doesn't really fit the time slot of these guys. Like, you look at, like, if they're starting five, if they would have, eventually get in Brunson or something like that, you'd have Brunson, who's like 25, about to enter his prime. Randle, who's 21, he'll be turning 22. I think Obi Toppin, if they would trade Randle, would take his place. He's about 23. And then, you've of course got Cam Reddish now, who's 22. And I think they'll go with another young center. And if they keep the young center they have now, Mitchell Robinson, he's 23. Julius Randle's a little bit different. Julius Randle is 27 years of age. And I think that if the Knicks, who aren't, I don't think, content on necessarily fully contending yet, I think they want to compete for a playoff spot while still like rebuilding and getting this young core going. I think Randle, it could actually be best suited if he does get traded, and there'll be a lot of teams out there looking for a power forward, and especially an all-star caliber one. Even though he can be sometimes, inefficient, he's still averaging 19 and 10 and 5 per game, which is still ridiculous numbers, which I definitely know there'll be a team out there that would, look to trade for him. And he's still on a pretty reasonable contract. Like, it's not like it's a max. I think it's a near max, which isn't bad at all for a dude averaging those type of numbers. I just would absolutely hate to see Randle leave, to be honest, because I think Randle is such a New York Knick. Like, I love how his heart is with the Knicks. He tries his hardest every game, even though it might not go well for him. But hey, it just might be what eventually happens. Some people were actually suggesting this, and I might talk about this in a different trade, because it was reported the Knicks are interested in Zion. Imagine if Randle goes back to New Orleans. I actually thought that would have been an interesting thing. But hey, this is for a different video, I suppose. The whole Jalen Brunson thing, if they trade away Julius Randle, that means I would think Obi Toppin would start. The Dallas Mavericks could therefore be interested in Julius Randle as well, but I don't actually know if that's going to happen. I actually don't believe Jalen Brunson will be getting traded to the New York Knicks at the deadline. And a lot of people will take that as me saying that the Knicks are not going to get Jalen Brunson. I actually disagree. I think the New York Knicks will get potentially Jalen Brunson, like they're the biggest chance out of any team. It just will come in free agency, as he is looking for a 4-year deal worth about $20 million per season. And I know damn well the New York Knicks are going to have the cap to do it, because if they do end up trading away Randle in the offseason to a team like New Orleans, who will have cap, that means you're going to free up. Let's just say somehow they threw in a bunch of first-round picks, like billion first-round picks, and Julius Randle, and brought Zion to the team somehow. That's going to save them $20 million in cap, because Zion's only on like $10 million. So that's just it right there. And then when we look at the other alternative, Fournier potentially might be getting traded. Derrick Rose, I don't know how long he's going to be on this team for. I do still think you need a veteran like Rose on the team, but when they've got Quickly off the bench, and they really like quickly, and I think want him to be the consistent backup point guard. Rose could eventually get traded, and then I think Kemba Walker will either be getting traded or just not re-signed, and he's on about a $9 million or $10 million contract. So they'll have cap for sure. I reckon they'll offer about $20 to $25 million for Brunson. And some people might say that's not worth it for a dude that really hasn't proved himself. I actually disagree. I think he has proved himself in the limited opportunity he's had. For example, he's averaging 16 and 6 per game in 31 minutes, and that's not even consistently starting. I think on the New York Knicks, if he was to get there, he's now the main playmaker, because keep in mind, he now has the ball in his hands all the time, and he doesn't have to doesn't have to share the playmaking with Luka. I think his playmaking would explode on the New York Knicks, and that's what the Knicks are looking for. I think the Knicks are really, really looking for a playmaking dude that can also play off ball to RJ Barrett and Cam Reddish. And Jalen Brunson can 100% do this. Jalen Brunson can play off ball. He's played off ball with Luka. He's played off ball when Tim Hardaway hogs the ball. He can 100% do this. And I think Jalen Brunson is the perfect fit for this New York Knicks team. And hey, let's just say they get him on $22 million a year. If you're paying $22 million a year for a dude that I think would grow to averaging 18 and 7, hell, you're doing it. You're doing it. Especially if he's going to be your future point guard, averaging those numbers while playing off ball with RJ and Cam Reddish. I think you're 100% doing this. And hey, let's just say they trade away Randall. I don't know what for, but they do a couple of these things. They'd be looking at a really young team of Jalen Brunson at point guard, Cam Reddish at shooting guard, RJ Barrett at small forward, Obi Toppin at power forward, and Mitchell Robinson at center, with maybe like Emmanuel Quickly off the bench, Alec Burks, Derrick Rose if they keep him, Quentin Grimes, Nerlens Noel, etc. And I'm sure the players they'd sign free agency. And that team would be a really, really good team, and would still be in like the draws to try and get a dude like Zion, because why wouldn't Zion, I think, want to go play for a team that has all those young guys there and a bunch of his, potential friends? I think that would be a really interesting thing. And yeah, I don't know if Zion or New Orleans is going to work out in the long term. It just, for some reason, it seems like they need to trade him, even though he's been there 3 seasons and has barely played. It just seems like there needs to be a fresh start, because this dude is just not playing. And if you can get like 4 first-round picks or something like that, and Julius Randle or something, I don't even know, you're probably doing it. And if you're the Knicks, you're doing that too, because Zion was averaging 27 per game before he got injured, and could be an MVP candidate one day. So again, you're 100% doing that. Plus, I think New Orleans would improve, because they're basically trading a guy that's not playing for a dude like Randall, who's still an all-star type guy, and I think he would help out a lot for this team. And he's been on New Orleans before, and actually I think he actually didn't mind it on there. So hey, I think that'd be a really, really interesting thing. And look, he averaged 21 per game on New Orleans, which I don't think a lot of people really even, know he did. So hey, that's kind of cool in my opinion. I'm really interested to see how all of this goes. I think Jalen Brunson will be really, really good on the New York Knicks, and I kind of do hope something like this does happen. But yeah, I don't think it'll be a trade. I think this is going to be more of an off-season move, if I'm being completely honest. But of course, if you haven't already, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for all those NBA news and NBA content. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel and my IRL/long channel, and just check out all of them. Also, don't forget, just to comment your thoughts and opinions. Let me know. Jalen Brunson on the Knicks, does it make a lot of sense? What's his price? Would you guys trade for him? Would you guys not? Definitely let me know down below. But as I was saying, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Comment in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.